Welcome everybody to week number 7. Can you believe that we are almost 2 months into this mastermind? It's crazy how fast time is flying. Real quick, as always, I want you guys to know how you guys can reach out and get a hold of us, right? You can do a consult with Ryan at web1.co/consult. So if you're running up against some problems, not sure how to get past them, and our week's call isn't coming up for some time, you can always ask strategy type of questions with Ryan. That is the best place, in fact, to ask strategy questions, unless there's a webinar coming up that I'll be on that you can get some time with me. Obviously, our support desk as well, web1support.com, and you guys can always call us on the phone at 561-841-1832. Okay? So next week's call, next Monday's call, falls on Memorial Day. So just a quick heads up to everybody that we'll be moving it to Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, you guys can use the same link that you have been, same time, same place, just Tuesday instead of Monday. So hope you guys all enjoy your nice long weekend here if you're in the U.S., and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. So a little update on our July event. We are almost halfway sold out of our seats. So real quick, by a show of hands, if you just give me a 1 in the chat here real quick, how many of you guys have already registered? Just give me a 1. Hey, Irfan, good to see you, man. One. Awesome. Lots and lots of you guys on the call. Fantastic. So those of you guys that gave me a 1, make sure that you guys book your hotel room ASAP with the link that we sent you guys when you guys purchased, and it was also on the thank you page to get your guys' discounted rate and your free upgrade. So for a limited time, I'm not sure how many of these that they can do. They're giving everybody a little upgrade to a king room with a partial ocean view, which is about $100 extra per night anywhere else that you guys would go book the hotel. So nice little bonus in there. And everybody else, just again, make sure you guys book your hotel right away. If you guys don't book through the Tideline Resort and you guys stay somewhere else, I don't know why you would, because the hotel rate that we got you guys is super cheap. If you guys don't book through the Tideline, you guys are going to make us be on the hook for it. Meaning you wait around or don't book, or you book elsewhere, Ben and myself are going to have to pick up the tabs for your rooms. All right. So because of the awesome deal that we got you guys, we had to put ourselves on the hook for a bunch of it. All right. So make sure that you guys, as soon as possible, book the event as well as book your hotel. So again, we have about 40 seats left. We have a max capacity of 75 in the room. You're going to want to fly in on July 13th into Palm Beach International Airport. You can choose to fly out the night of the 15th, or you guys can enjoy Palm Beach for the weekend. And again, all that we're asking for is just a $99 deposit to hold your seat. When you check in at the hotel for the event, we will immediately refund your deposit. All right? We just need a final head count. And if I just said it was free, each and everybody on the call would do what, right? Everybody would say, yes, we're coming, and we couldn't realistically get a head count, all right? Dwayne, let's see you there. What's the rate on the rooms? $189. All right. Congrats on that, Joshua Ferris, by the way. Josh says he wished he could make it, but he's about a week and a half out before his firstborn is due, so too close to call on that one, bro. He says, definitely understand, man. You have a very legitimate excuse. All right, let's keep this thing moving. This week's training and goals, if you guys have been in and saw this week's training, we are basically doing 2 things. We're adding an outline and order form follow-up sequence inside of QuickMail. Okay, so basically what we're doing is day 7 and day 12, we are following up with a prospect. We sent them an outline and an order form, all right? If you don't get it yet, money is in the follow-up, right? And you guys should be following up often. What we want to do is just help you guys automate some of the follow-up, right? And that's why we've added this little follow-up sequence to go out day 7 and day 12. Next up, we're going to show you guys how to add canned responses in Gmail. Okay, so we're going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to add in our first canned response. So the day 12 email that goes out following up with someone that you sent the outline and order form basically says something to the effect of, I'm assuming by now that you haven't replied because you don't want to do business with us, right? And then it just basically asks for feedback, right? And so when a prospect says no, we want to ask for feedback, right? We want to know what spoiled the deal, right? Did we not build enough rapport? Did the not make sense? Is it just their time in their business, right? What is the reason? Okay, so next week, guys, we're going to be going a little crazy on the canned responses, and we're going to be building out canned responses for a bunch of different common, frequent subject types, if you will, and we'll talk about that here in a couple of minutes. Let's see, what was it? Last week we had the sales contest that I threw out on the webinar. Actually, it was the week before. First to 5 to make a sale. So I just wanted to update this. Joshua Ferris, buddy, you got that. And just a heads up, man, I PayPal'd you the money this morning. Everybody, just real quick, you guys should all be caught up. If you guys have won any contest for cash payouts, you should be paid out by now. Okay? If you have not received your payment, please do me a favor. Please submit a support ticket at web1support.com with your name, the prize you won, and with any proof you have of winning it. And the support team is going to escalate that ticket to me, and I'll make sure that you guys get paid out right away. But we should be all up to date for you guys. Let's see. Share the contest submission link one more time. web1.co/contest-submission. So it's in the chat, Rajiv. All right, guys, so a big update on the next prize, the first to 3 sales and $2,997 a month. We're working on sorting this out right now, but as you guys can see, we have quite a few people that have hit this already, and so we're doing our due diligence on our end today and the rest of this week to reach out to everybody and figure out who won for sure. All right, so Jim Thiessen, man, congratulations. Jim's at $3,600 a month from the program. Rob Richards, congratulations, man, $4,491 a month from the program. Al Davis, $5,197 a month recurring from the program as well. And last but not least, man, James McGowan, you have been crushing it. $15,997 a month recurring from the program. Would you guys just do me a favor, give it up for James McGowan? Would you guys just say congrats, James, in the chat? And I'm going to take a little screenshot here to send James. Come on, guys, give him some love. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, that's awesome. I got to break a little bit of news about a couple of people on this list here in just a second. All right, I got the screshot. Cool. So we've had some feedback from people since the beginning of the program that have part-time jobs or full-time jobs. So by a show of hands, give me a 2 if you guys have a part-time job or a full-time job right now. All right, so we've been getting a lot of pushback in support and in the groups, like, hey, I love the program, but I've been running a full-time job, and that's why I'm not having the success that I need, and we're getting some excuses. Okay, and I'm not saying that some of it's not valid, right? It is going to be hard if you have a big time commitment, right? You got to figure out how to deal with it. Okay, half of the people, guys, on this list have a full-time job too. Yes, half of the people on this list have a full-time job too, right? So if they can do it, why can't you do it, right? So just a little bit of motivation for you guys. If you guys have a full-time job, you can do it, right? So just a little bit of motivation for you guys. So if they can do it, why can't you do it, right? So just a little bit of motivation for you guys. So just a little bit of motivation for you guys. So if they can do it, why can't you do it, right? So just a little bit of motivation for you guys. that have been complaining or thinking just even in your head, it's great that these other people can do it, right? But they don't have a full-time job. Okay, don't make that an excuse. Okay, use the system. The beauty of it is it doesn't require that much of a time investment, right? So real quick, guys, I'd love some feedback in the chat. If you are not getting results, if you're not getting results so far, give me some feedback in the chat as to why. Give me some feedback in the chat as to why. What's your bottleneck? What's the problem? And we're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth, but honestly, guys, there's only one of two real bottlenecks. Well, maybe three. Not working the program or just not doing it is obviously one. Okay. Still behind, still behind. All right, so people not being able to just keep up with the program. Not enough consults held, so that's a big one, Gary Munson. Paul, I'm very sorry to hear that, man. Okay. All right, so guys, there's really only three things here, right? You're behind or you're just not following the program, which aren't really bottlenecks in the process, right? They're bottlenecks internally that you guys got to figure out. So if you guys aren't getting results yet, there's really only two real bottlenecks, right? And that's either that you're not getting replies and consults booked, okay, or you aren't closing on your consults, right? So let's dive in a little bit deeper here. If you guys aren't getting replies to your consults, or if you guys aren't getting replies to your cold emails, therefore aren't getting very many consults, right? Not many bookings or replies. You either varied too much from the script, okay, or the niche that you picked isn't the best. And so what do I mean by isn't the best? Okay, if you can't get to decision makers, you're going to have a problem, right? You need to be talking with decision makers. We need to be talking with people that have the authority, have the power to say yes, right? And to be able to, on the spot, sign a deal and give you credit card authorization. Okay? So your niche isn't the best, meaning you're not getting through to decision makers. And guys, again, a reason why I primarily go after what kind of niches? What niches do I go after, guys? Emergency, yes. And blue collar. Blue collar is the key right there, right? So here's the problem with a lot of the niches that you guys are going after. If you guys are having problems and you're frustrated, realize that it could be the niche that you're going after, right? Is the decision maker's email the one that you guys are emailing? Okay? When you guys are sending out these emails, are you actually getting responses? Okay, if you've had your sales stack set up for 2 or 3 weeks now and you're not getting much traction, I would highly, highly suggest that you start up another campaign inside of QuickMail to test, right? Go after a different niche. Okay, the other thing can just be niche sophistication level. Okay, and also their openness to leads, right? So how many times have they gotten marketed different types of services, right? And then just, again, their openness to leads. Okay, so if you're getting through to the decision maker, is it just that your email isn't resonating with them? Okay, if you guys are going after blue collar, this last point should not be the issue, right? We are speaking to those people, and we've had significant, amazing results, obviously, speaking to those people. Okay, so when we talked about you guys can go after any niche that you want, but here are the guidelines of what we go after, I hope you guys realize now why. You guys see that? Does that make sense? Can I get a 1? If anybody had an aha moment that's been having problems, Does this make sense? Is this an eye-opener of what could be going wrong? Okay, those of you guys that are struggling, there's no reason to. There's so much success in the program. We need to figure out why and keep you guys going, right? Okay, the other thing is that you're getting plenty of consults, right? You're just not closing on the consults yet. Okay, so if you're getting a bunch of consults, but you just haven't closed one yet, let me know if that's you in the chat. Give me a 2 if that's you in the chat. Okay, Rajiv, Mark. So how many consults, Rich? How many consults have you guys had? Jim? Give me some feedback in the chat. So we'll do a little live diagnostic here. How many consults have you guys had? For everybody that just gave me a 2, how many of you called? Or how many of you had? All right. Okay, so 10, 3, 8, 12. Okay, so pretty spread out. 6. All right. So I wouldn't assume that you're having a big problem unless you guys have done 10 consults and haven't hit a close. Okay, so for me, that's kind of the make or break number, right? At 10, something's going to fall in your lap, right? So Natalie just said, yep, I had 7 and just closed 1 sale, right? And then what you guys are going to see that's going to happen, let's say that you did those 10 in 2 weeks, you're going to start to close more of those original 10 with follow-up, right? And so you're going to end up probably getting closer to 1 in 4 or 1 in 6 in terms of sales, but they're not going to come immediately. Again, the money is in the follow-up. Okay, but if you guys have had 10 plus consults and you still aren't breaking through, there's a problem. Either the niche, again, isn't the right fit, or your consults are just rough, right? They're not good. Okay, so one big suggestion, if you guys feel like you're not doing well on the consults, please just follow the consult outline. Okay, take the approach of just asking lots of questions and getting them to talk 75% of the time, right? If they talk most of the times, they should sell themselves. Okay? So give me a 3 real quick if that helps, if that helps get you unstuck. You're getting consults, but you're not closing. Okay? Thanks, Rajiv, Rich, Rob. Rob says the outline rocks. Thanks, man. Cool. So in other words, anybody that's having problems right now, right, you have the results that you want in the program yet. Right now, you should all know exactly why and what you need to do, right? You should know exactly how you're leaving this call, what changes you need to make in order to have some success, right? Jim says he's very close on a couple, and if you're close on a couple, you're almost there, right? Don't just ditch it and run to a new niche, right? If you did a handful of consults, they went very well, the people are interested, they just haven't closed yet, it's not worth throwing it in the bag yet. Cool. Got to get the at-bats so you can get the swings, exactly. So for most of you guys, when we've broken down this in the past, most people just aren't following the system. Okay, not to say that everybody isn't, right? But if you follow the system, it should work. All right, so just a little heads up for those of you guys that are like extremely behind. We are opening back up the Done With You sales stack setup. If you're interested, you need to call Ryan. It's the only way that you guys can get in on this. 561-841-1832. And he is extension 2. Just ask for the sales stack Done With You setup. All right. Open prizes. I am assuming, based upon those 4 people earlier and all the deals that they got done, that the first to 3 is done, right? That prize is basically in the bag for one of those 4. So that means that we have 1 prize left. Okay, 1 prize left, all right? And that is the most sales in the mastermind, all right? So $3,000 in cash, a boardroom membership, which is our highest level mastermind, which sells for $7,500. You're going to get a one-on-one day with me, plus paid airfare and hotel for that one-on-one day with me, all right? So those of you guys out there, there's still a big, big prize to win. And even if you haven't had your first sale yet, trust me when I say you could still win this contest, right? Think about Teresa. You guys were all on, I'm sure, a couple weeks ago when we brought Teresa on the line, right? Teresa was having problems. She didn't give up. She kept pushing. And I think in what, a week and a half, you closed 2 deals, 8 cities, right? And basically instantly had a 6-figure business. Okay, so keep pushing, keep pushing. Those of you guys that are making sales, okay, keep your eye on the ball. Okay, keep your eye on sales. So we've gotten some questions. Hey, Joe, I just made my first sale or my second sale or my third sale. When should I start really transferring to fulfillment, or where should I structure my time? Okay, if you guys have made a sale and you've been trying to figure out how you guys should be spending your time in terms of sales and fulfillment, just give me a 4 in the chat real quick. Let me know who I'm talking to. All right, all right. Okay, so for you guys should be focusing 80% of your time on sales. Okay, 20% of your time focused on fulfillment until you hit 8,000 a month recurring. Okay, once you hit that 8,000 a month recurring, then we need to shift once again and focus on really building your business. And what do I mean by that? We need to start working on your systems and your processes. Okay, we need to start working on your outsourcing and your management, right? But until then, you need to spend 80% of your time focused on sales, 20% focused on fulfillment, and once you hit that magic number, 8,000 a month or more, then we're going to need to shift you to really building the business versus you running your little startup or being a technician, so to speak, running your jobs each and every day, right? We're going to have to start working on the business instead of in the business, all right? So Rob, Joshua, Natalie, Thomas, Rajiv, Kevin, does that make sense? Any questions on that, guys? Nope, that's great. Great strategy. Nope, awesome. All right, thanks, guys. All right, so my big suggestion for all of you guys that are nailing down consults right and left, okay, and you are almost to a yes in terms of a sale, okay, or you made your first sale. If you're in one of those kind of buckets, my first suggestion in terms of freeing up your time to be able to spend more time on sales is, for God's sake, let us just run Lead Kahuna for you. Okay? Forget about having to run the leads for your guys yourselves all the time, right? Let us do it for you. Okay? Again, here's the link, web1.co/LK-D4Y. So basically every week we will run one niche. You give us the niche and 20 cities. Again, you give us the cities. And we will go out and we will go get all of those leads for you. Okay, we'll send you over a CSV with all of the information inside of it. Okay, the reason for this, again, is we want you guys to be able to focus on sales. Okay, if you guys are nailing sales right and left for $200 a month, there's no reason that you guys should be doing your own quote-unquote lead gen to find emails to then put inside of Lead Kahuna, or I'm sorry, inside of QuickMail. Right? It's the easiest thing in the world because of this offer that we've set up that you guys can take advantage of, right? This is the first thing that each and every one of you guys should be outsourcing. For every customer inside of the program so far, just to give you guys a little bit of data, we're averaging 908 leads per week, okay? And then we've seen as high as 2,300 leads in a single order. Okay, so what's the difference between 900 and 2300? Okay, not all niches are the same, right? Some niches are going to be small, some niches are going to be big. Okay, for example, if you guys do a search for an attorney and we scrape a list for you, and then you do another search, have us do another search, and it's DUI attorney, there's going to be a whole lot more DUI or a whole lot less DUI attorneys than just general broad attorneys. Okay, so one suggestion there is don't deviate from the niche that you've picked, right? But try to be as broad as possible. Okay, if you guys tell us that the business that you want to scrape and what we should be searching for is 3 keywords long, it's not going to do as well as if it was 1, right? Does that make sense? So if you're going after roofing, let's say, and the keyword that you have us go after is commercial roofing, it's not going to draw near as many leads as just regular roofing. Okay, so try to stay as broad as you can with that keyword phrase when you place your order. Okay. So again, guys, $199 per month. I think that this is pretty silly. If you guys are having success, this is the easiest way to recoup some time, and it's easily a couple of hours a week in time investment for sure. Okay, so we have currently 4 spots done in the Lead Kahuna done for you monthly. Next up, we are releasing a new service for you guys based upon your guys' demand. So each of you guys that have sold a deal so far, we've talked to you guys about running with the execution maps. And we've told you even before you guys can have us do the execution maps for you, that you guys need to have done it yourself. Why? And I don't mean that you have to do 30 sites, right? But you need to do it once so that you understand the process, you know how long it's going to take to execute, you know your costs, okay, and you know how to start getting calls quickly. When it comes to fulfillment, one of the biggest questions that we get is guess what? Guess what the biggest question that we get is in terms of fulfillment? Give me some feedback. What's the biggest question? How do I get calls quickly? How long is it going to take? What's it going to cost, right? Guys, if you went through the execution map one time, you would know the answers to all of those questions, right? You know the strategies on how to get calls quickly. You know what it's going to cost. You know how long it's going to take, right? It gets rid of a lot of the kinks and questions in the process. So why do we suggest that you go through it first? So that you're educated. Okay, we can educate you all that we want, right? But until you guys experience it and go through the process yourself, you're never going to truly respect the process, okay? And you're never really going to know the ins and the outs and the high-level details, okay? You guys need to run through the execution maps once, okay? We are going to be rolling out the done-for-you services for building out the sites and following the execution maps very, very soon. Just know that there is going to be the criteria that you've at least done it once. Okay, and this is coming very soon. Okay, so just a heads up. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. You guys have to have gone through the execution maps once for one of your sites before we will let you guys place an order with the done for you. Does that make sense? Can I just get a 2 in the chat? Everybody's on the same page? Okay, so this week we released an offer for somebody in the group, and I wanted to extend it to everybody else. It's not for most people, but we actually released an offer for somebody that wanted some extra hand-holding that just closed the deal. They're not tech savvy. They've never done the fulfillment before. They're newer to SEO, and they wanted some extra hand-holding. Okay, so what we did is literally, or what we're going to be doing with this individual is literally over the shoulder, helping him build out 2 sites in the same niche in one day using the execution maps. Okay, so literally piece by piece, we will go over it with you, then set you free to go do the tasks, right? You come back and say it's done, we go review it, show you any problems, concerns, or things that you should fix, then we'll move on to the next set of tasks, right? And we'll literally, over the course of a day, help you through the execution maps and make sure that you understand everything from A to Z. Okay, this is 100% not required, but we've been asked so many times that we finally made this a reality, all right? We don't have a link to buy. We're not assuming that many people are going to need this, okay? But if this is for you, if this is your big hang up in your head, I just closed the deal, I don't know what I'm doing, and I need a little extra hand holding, just call Ryan up, okay, and ask about the done with you execution map setup. Does that make sense? Is that good? So those of you guys that are lost, have never ran through it before, keep asking fulfillment questions. This is probably for you, right? Cool. So that is different than the done for you execution map. So this is basically done with you. What you were talking about is done for you, right? You guys have to go through the process once so that you guys can outsource it, right? And whether you choose to outsource it to us or anybody else, you guys have to go through the process once. If you need hand holding, we will take you through the process with the done with you. Does that make sense, Rajiv? No, Susan. All right, awesome. Fantastic. So what's next? So next week is all about adding more canned responses in Gmail. Okay, and I'd love some feedback from you guys real quick. What are the top responses that you guys get from your email campaigns? Okay, again, what are the top responses that you guys get from your email campaigns through QuickMail? When you guys are looking in your Gmail inbox, what are people responding with? Okay, the reason I'm asking this question is we're going to be setting up a bunch of canned responses in Gmail. I'm going to give you guys literally the templates, and so that you guys have them, we're going to set them all up as canned responses. So when somebody replies and says, I'm interested, but would you send me more info? That's a big one, right? That you guys are literally going to have a canned response and can just reply with that. Okay, how much is it? More info, if somebody missed an appointment, they canceled an appointment, somebody on the phone says, I'm interested, after your consult, right, they're like, I'm interested, can you send me the outline and order form, right, we're going to have a template for that, an onboarding email, but just let me know, guys, if there's something else that you guys think that we should be handling in these canned responses. Call me. Yeah, I don't think we need a canned response for that one. Call them. Cool. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys. So we'll definitely take those into count when we are building these out. I think there's probably another one or two that you guys suggested that would definitely be worth us cranking out for you guys. Bill Ross, don't need more work. All right, so I'm going to try and see who's on the webinar that's been doing really well as of late and try to pull on some people here to chat with us. So let's see, let me go through the attendees here real quick. Pull up my notes. One sec, guys. All right. So let's see, Natalie, are you on the line? Natalie. Trying to get to the ends. Natalie, can you talk? Just let me know in the chat. She said she can't find her headset. No worries, brother. All right, let's see. Who else? Let me pull up the weekly submission doc. See who else is on the call. James, are you on the call? McGowan? I hope I'm saying your name right, man. Don't see him. Joshua Ferris, you have a mic, brother? Let me know in the chat. Rob Richards, Jim Thiessen, Al Davis, James McGowan. Let me know if you guys are on. All right, Joshua Ferris says he's plugging his mic in. Give him a sec. No worries. So let's see. Again, Jim Thiessen, Rob Richards, Al Davis, James McGowan. Let me know if any of you guys have a mic. Bring you guys on, talk about the system, and anything that you guys need help with. Let's see. Al Davis is on. I think we had Al on last week or the week before. Hey, Al, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe, how you doing, man? I'm good.
Good, brother. So how's the last week been for you?
You know, it's been pretty good. Just like any time, you know, you got your ebbs and flows. I think this week, actually last week was probably more of a down week. We had, I think we just had a few more people that just were a little more skeptical. I think the biggest thing that we're running across, I think, a little bit is and you covered it earlier, which we handle it. It's not an issue. It's just a matter of we ran across more of them this week than we have in the first 6 weeks, to be honest with you. The monthly upfront, a lot of them were on the pay-per lead with one of the other companies and so forth, and trying to work through that a little bit and trying to show them the value and how it works. And we still have them in the pipeline. In fact, I have 6 right now that are in the pipeline that I'm not sure. They're probably 50-50 at this time. But no, things have been good. Just like I said, just last week we had, I think, 8 consults, and majority of those were kind of kicking the tires a little bit on the monthly and so forth. But we're not done with them yet, so it's been pretty good.
Definitely. So the big thing for me with those guys is if we back down to basically guaranteeing it, right? So we lead out, hey, it's $1,500 a month. Here's the number of leads that you're going to get, and they're like, nah, I don't know. Right, our first drop down, if you will, is all right. We guarantee it. We won't bill you again until we hit that number of leads. If they say no to that, like, what is their real interest level? Right? Are they actually going to be a legitimate client for us long term? If they can't put up $1,500, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's not really the biggest issue. I'll be honest. I'll kind of drill down on it a little bit for you. The first one, it's of course. A lot of times you get your different types of guys on there. Of course, they're hey, let's just get down to it. Don't give me the song and dance. And first, I tell them, I say, listen, I don't sing and I don't dance, so let's just go ahead and get right down to it if you want to. But they've heard it before. They've been approached, and of course I just kind of spin it and we get a laugh out of it, and then we get down to business. But showing them the value, we always get right down to that. I don't waste a lot of time with, hey, I got 10 minutes. Can you do it? No, I can't do it 10 minutes because it's that you're not going to get the full value. You can't make an educated decision on 10 minutes of information. So once we do get to the value part, we haven't ever had any issue, except for people maybe flaking out from here and there. But here's what a lot of the skepticism they're getting, and some of you guys out there are probably getting this too, and that is they are getting hit every day. I mean, they just are. It's they're saying, okay, you're the 5th person that's hit me this week. What makes you different than the other 4 that hit me earlier this week? So the guard is up even more so. In even a lot of the niches. So you just got to work through that a little bit, and I use a little humor to do it, but that's what we're running across a lot, and I think that's what was last week too, was a little bit more of that stuff where they've seen it, they've heard it, and we just had to kind of break through it a little bit and say, listen, obviously you're going to get hit, but here's how we're different, and we broke through it. But that's once you get to the value part, it's either money. Usually it's a money issue with them on their end, and that's really what it comes down to. That because once you show enough value, they're in. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you said you use humor to get past that. Can you enlighten us? Well, you know how it is, man. You get people on the phone and their guard is up, and the first thing they say is, "Hey, don't give me the dog and pony show. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes of it." And I say, "Hey, I'm all about it myself. Love to dig right into the prices right now." But I always say this, not always, but it comes up. I'll say, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at somebody's price sheet and say, man, I'd love to do business with that company? Of course not. You do business based on a price. You do business based on the person you're talking to and the relationship. So we make try to make it fun. They don't always laugh. In fact, some of them don't laugh, but that's okay. I just try to break it down as much as I can because you got to break that guard down, man. If you don't break that down, the rest they're just up the whole time and they're going to hold you up. And if you don't break that down, you'll never get through to them. So
definitely.
Yep.
Well said for sure. Cool, brother. So where are you at now, Al? You're at 5197. How many deals is that?
What is that? 4 deals right now. I don't want to know what James is doing. Holy cow! This guy's. I mean, let's get James on the line here. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
The guy that's tripled me up right now. So
the best part about James is that he's got a full-time job. He's like, I was on the first couple of weeks webinars, but I don't know if I can be on this week, and I can get on. I'd love to, but I got a full-time job, so maybe the following week I can squeeze around my lunch and push up my lunch a little bit.
Oh man, rub that in my face, why don't you? Holy cow! Look at this guy. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, you know how it goes sometimes. It's I mean, he's obviously doing a great job. So yeah, I'm curious some of the stuff he's doing. It's probably some similar stuff, but yeah, if he's got anything that we can utilize, that'd be great to get him on. But it's been great. Like I said, it just takes a little time. You got your ups and downs. That's the thing about this business. I've been in the business a long time. You're going to have your good weeks and your bad weeks, your good weeks and your good days and your bad days. But I'll just stay even keel and stay. That's the thing. Some people get discouraged and they stop doing what got them there, and that serves of getting leads and just keeping the pipeline. Those 5 don't work out this week. So what? There's 10 more in the next 3 days. Just keep working it. As long as you got them in the pipeline. I always use the attitude like this. I use the attitude that when I'm talking to somebody, if they're giving me an attitude or they're not really responding, well, in the back of my mind, I say, listen, I got 10 other people that already responded that I'm going to be talking to in the next 3 days. I don't need your business, but I'd like to have it if we can work together. If not, I don't have time for it, and I move on to the next one. So it's all that, that mental mindset. If you can work through that, that's your best thing, just to get started.
Definitely. I like to use the same thing. The other thing I just add in is whatever location that they're in, I say we will have a customer in Atlanta in the next 2 weeks. Exactly. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to see if we can work together, but if not, that's okay. And so I like to pressure them in that scenario as well. Just kind
Absolutely, I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing, and that's part of my follow-up. As a matter of fact, hey, listen, this is not a standing offer. We put together, like I said before, the 48-hour expiration time. It doesn't matter. You just let me know. Communicate. If it's not for you, that's great. We're going to bring somebody in. We're only bringing one in, in Chicago, just as an example. It's either going to be you or your competitor. It's okay with me. Just let me know.
Yep. That's awesome language, man. Cool, brother. You going to be at the event?
I got a prior that was already booked from last year. Here in Michigan, we got a lot of car events and so forth. That's one big thing that we do every year. But I'm going to see what we can do on that. I'm still working on it. Cool.
Well, if we can't get you there, got to get you to one of the next ones. Would love to meet you for.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely be there as soon as I can.
All right, buddy. Sounds great. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right. Let's see. Rob R has a mic now. So Rob's been on fire. I think Rob just sold the last 2 of these deals in the last week. Let's see here. Hey, Rob, you should be unmuted.
Hey, Joe. Good to be here.
Hey. Thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure. It's been fun.
So tell everybody about your kind of experience thus far.
Well, like Al was just saying, it's just a matter of sticking with the system and making sure that you just follow up with what we're supposed to do on a daily basis. I commented earlier that that the outline that you provided at the beginning of this training was just gold. It rocks. And just going back to that outline, I've printed out the 4 pieces of the paper and I've got notes written all over. I should probably reprint it again, but I keep that in front of me every time I'm having a consult. And I'm not like reading it verbatim, but those sections are gold. Yeah. I start off every call by talking with them and say, hey, no matter, a lot of times the people want to get right down. I just got off a consult about 30 minutes ago, and the lady got right down to it. She goes, I'm a nuts and bolts person. I want to talk to you about the pricing and find out if it's a per lead deal or a percentage type deal. And I just agreed with it. I said, that's a great question. And then I answered it very briefly, but not really giving any details. But then I went right back to, but first time talking with somebody like this, I like to have what I call a discovery call. And I just lay it out, saying, I want to learn more about you and your business and your roles and your responsibilities and where you want to go. Just really putting it back on them, letting them know that they're important. And I'll try to do the same for myself, letting a little bit about what I am and what I do and what we can do for you. But let's talk about you first of all. And that just is, it's unbelievable. I mean, she talked 75% easily, and I'm just busy, taking down notes. And it was just an unbelievable consult, because I think it started right there on the right foot. And then I just, page by page, again, I'm not reading that thing verbatim. I've done it enough now times to know the nuts and bolts of it, but it's just a flow. It's just talking naturally to people. And the one line that I do want to share with everybody, and nobody needs to use it. If you do, you can just give me credit for it. I say I'm not looking to work any kind of long-term contract with anybody. And I kind of pause right there, but I go, but I am looking for a long-term relationship. And then I just lay it out, which is the truth. I say, hey, business is all about people, and I'm looking to work with people that I like, people that I know, people that I can trust, just like you are. So I just meet them on that level playing ground, kind of establishing ourselves as both business owners, and just taking it from there. So a lot of what I think is going on, I've got 3 sales, just 2 in the last week that you said. I've got 4 more in the pipeline that I feel really good about right now. I'm going to follow up with all 4 of those today. And I think it all stems from just building that rapport initially, and then being very matter-of-fact about the value. Hey, here are the numbers that you just told me. Here's the number of calls you're getting. Here's the number of appointments. Here's the number of sales. Here's your average number of sales. Each lead that I bring you is worth X amount of dollars. Okay, great. Then the prices that I whip out at at $900 or $1,500 or $3,000, those are reasonable. And so that's kind of my take so far. I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, man, that was awesome. People love hearing about the story, right? No matter if they're struggling or where they're at in the process, they're doing well. Everybody likes to hear about other people having success with the program. So if you could give everybody like one big piece of advice, maybe a gotcha that you ran into or something that's really helping you, any ideas on what that would be?
Yeah, you got to go for the close. I like Grant Cardone a lot. I watch his videos pretty regularly. And the more I'm hearing just the importance of the differences between selling and closing. I mean, selling is presenting, selling is email, selling is reaching out, providing value, talking about benefits. All that is selling, but that's a completely different thing than closing. And so for me, for example, last Friday I had 2 closes on one day. I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. It all just came down to asking for the close several times during the call, and just being straight up and real with people. Hey, this is this value for you? Are we going to do this? Have you made a decision? And just making sure that it's very clear that they're going to make a decision now about whether this is a good fit for them. So I think it's really important to make sure that, and the difference between selling and closing. And if you're not closing, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, leaving a lot on the table for sure. That's a great tip. Thanks for that for sure.
Exactly.
And anybody that needs, a little kick in the butt in terms of sales, definitely would recommend Grant Cardone for sure. You will watch that guy, and by like the 4th or 5th time you watch him, you're like, dude, this guy's pitching me something every single time he opens his mouth. Like, just for that reason alone, you'll be like, I'm being a little bit of a pansy. I need to take this up a notch or 2. But he's awesome. Lots of energy, lots of excitement, and I know that he helps a lot of our community, kind of get out there day after day. So real quick, how many total consults have you done?
Oh, hold on a second. I can tell you that exact. Yeah, let me pull that up. Hold on one sec. I can tell you exactly, because every consult that I've had, I've sent an outline to. I've had 9 consults so far, Joe.
Okay, so you're 3 out of 9 so far and have 4 maybes, right? 4 50-50s, 4 that you're following up with.
Yep.
Right, so you only had like 2 of them that you disqualified then.
Yes, one of them was
no.
Yeah, one of them was just brand new into the business himself, and there's no way I could eke out anything from him. It was just not a good fit. And the other one ended up not really providing the services that I can provide the leads for. So everyone else who I've talked to is still on the hook or is on board.
Yeah, man. Those are some fantastic stats for sure. Awesome, brother.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate you coming on. We'll have to have you on again. Keep going, keep kicking ass, and if you need anything, man, you know where to find me. Always down to help.
Sure will. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Rob. All right, guys, was that cool or what? That was good stuff, right? Those stats are awesome. 3 out of 9 and 4 that basically are still considering it that he's going to be following up with. So already at, man, like a 33% closing rate, and he's got a bunch of maybes in there that I'm sure he'll end up closing at least 1 or 2 of those. All right, so Joshua Ferris. Joshua, let me find you, buddy, here. I'm going to unmute you. Hey, Josh, what's up, man?
What's up, Joe? Can you hear me?
Yes, man, I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
How goes it?
It's going well, man. It's going well. I love having these calls on Monday. I got to tell you, like getting everything started the beginning of the week. I'm on fire for the rest of the week.
Exactly. Off to a good start.
So how have things been going for you, man?
Things have been kind of hectic. Past couple weeks, I've had like a baby shower thing going on and like a bunch of housework and stuff going on, so I've kind of fallen behind. And I'm like, I run an e-commerce business too, so I'm kind of like trying to transition that, like get out of doing like the work with that. So I kind of have my brother like running that sort of thing. I wanted to focus more on like the consulting, lead gen type stuff. And like my background is more technical, so that's kind of why I got into like this whole thing appealed to me, because it was more focused on sales, and I've never really been in the sales arena. So,
trying to tighten up those skills a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I'm 1 for 1 on my consults. So.
100% batting average, man. You're killing it.
Exactly.
So when did you get your sales stack set up?
A few weeks back, Ryan went through it with me, and I don't know, after I had it all set up, it seemed like, everything just made sense after that, and it's like, wow, this seems like way better than, because, other programs will say, like, go out to your local whatever and, be an eye, and I'm like, well, when you're marketing to, like, 15 people week after week, it's not, it's not scalable at all, and most of those people just want free leads and stuff, so, that was kind of when people keep pounding that into people's heads, I'm like, yeah, you can't get to $100,000 a month, doing that sort of thing, really, in a small area, maybe in New York or something, I don't know, but I don't know. It was so
definitely a lot more time involved in the sale for sure.
Exactly.
So how'd your first consult go?
It went pretty good. I was kind of thrown off because I was talking to the office manager, and she said, like, she was the one I set the call up with, and I called in, and I was like, yeah, is Wendy there? And yeah, okay. And then she's like, oh, let me see if this other guy can jump on the call. Oh, okay. And then she just, like, transfers me to him. He's like, this is so-and-so. How may I help you? I'm like, yeah, my name's Josh, blah, 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 and talk to Wendy, and, basically, he gave me the rundown on the business, and it was like probably the most ideal prospect in that business for that area that I could have talked to, because they're doing like $4.5 million in sales like this past year and doing more this year, and they're buying leads from like everybody, Home Advisor, Porch, whatever, contractor leads, whatever it was, I forget what it's called now, but so they were basically.
So you're gonna find those guys. You're gonna find those guys for sure. Like when they've got the sales process down, they will buy from like everybody and as much as you can send them, right?
Right.
Like, you will find the fish that are just like, I want as many calls as you can send me. Like, sure, I'm willing to start with whatever this package is or which one you suggest, but the more you can send me, the better.
Right.
We just talked to a guy the other day that wants 200 a month.
Nice.
And we're at $400 a piece. So
that's awesome.
The volume's there for sure. So with you being more on the tech side, did you follow that consult kind of outline on the actual console?
Yeah, mostly. I kind of looked over the part where it was like fit in the amount of leads that they say would make a difference with a package.
Yep.
So I was kind of like, I kind of had a based on Home Advisor's prices, I kind of had like a pre-done outline, like 3 to 5 leads for the low package, and then it was like 6 to 10 for the second, and then 11 to 15. And he's like, we can take on 20, and that would make a difference. And I didn't really mention the 20 because I didn't really, I don't know, I guess I wasn't confident enough to deliver 20 in the first month or
Definitely.
that kind of thing.
And you did well with that too. I never would recommend selling more than the big package, or even potentially kind of the mid package, unless you're like really confident in fulfilling. I mean, for us, I would start with the big package just because we're a little bit more experienced, and we're not afraid to sell those. But definitely, you don't want to sell too high on your first go around.
Right. I mean, scaling up shouldn't be a problem because he said they get like 10 to 15 calls a day. So it's like 3 to 5 is nothing, but if we can get the scale, that'd be great because he's paying like around 300 leads. So
awesome, man. That's fantastic. So guys, any questions for Joshua while he's on, man, and was willing to share some time with us? Let us know in the chat real quick here. If not, I will let Josh go. Any last thoughts or words of wisdom from your experiences thus far?
No, just got to keep working at it, and my first consult really taught me a lot. Kind of toward the process. I like to think I'm a quick learner, but it's just got to follow the process, and it seems like it'll keep
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks, Josh, man. Let us know if you need any help. We're here for you.
All right,
Have an awesome day. Appreciate you coming on. All right, guys. So anybody else on? Jim Thiessen, are you on? Or James McGowan? I didn't see you earlier, James. Or Natalie. I was trying to get Natalie on. Make one last quick run through and look and see if anybody's on. Cool. Yep, it looks like that's it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and I just want to transition. I'm going to open it up for questions for you guys. I have about 15 minutes of time blocked out here. I need to be ready to go and for a call at 3:15 my time, but happy to answer any questions that you guys have on anything related to the mastermind or SEO or ranking or sales or anything like that in general. Just let me know in the chat. For those of you guys that don't have any questions, you guys can sign off. Just remember again, sign up for the event. If you're doing well with your sales, go ahead and get in the Lee Kahuna Done For You offer at $199 a month. Honestly, you guys would spend more than that on a VPS and proxies without even hiring somebody to actually run it for you. Trust me, because we spend a lot of money just running these every month for you guys, and we're trying to make it a no-brainer for you guys to jump in there and do that. All right. Let's see. Questions. I'll try to be on next week. That would be awesome, Natalie. Appreciate that. Rajiv says, how to handle send me a lead and I will pay, but not up front. Rajiv, again, I would ask, just like we talked about with the last couple of guys here on the call, did you build good rapport with them, right? Okay, if you built good rapport, did you do a step-down offer and guarantee it? Okay, I mean, between those two things, you should not be getting much pushback on I'll just pay for what you send me, right? And if you do, it's not the best prospect, right? So you got a little bit of tweaking to do, it sounds like, on your consult itself. And after you do that, if you're still getting that objection, then that prospect probably just isn't right for you, man. Bill Ross, that should be the week after next, brother, or next week, just depending on when we get it thrown in. Hope that helps, buddy. Luke, we talked about that earlier, brother. How much is the done for you sales stack? Done with you sales stack? I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Eric. So we have the Lead Kahuna offer that's $199 a month, and we will run one list for you every week. And what we mean by list is one niche in 20 cities for basically it comes down to less than $50 a week. So it's $199. Let me just bring up that slide real quick. Here you go, buddy. Hope that helps. Thanks. All right. Dave Campbell says, what's the cost of the Done With You service to set up the first site? So we'll basically do 2 sites, Dave, with the execution maps with you, right? So basically the goal is to go from A to Z through execution map 1 through the end of execution map 4 in 1 day with you, and the cost is $1,000. M. Morris, let's see. So M. Morris has a question about naming his business. He's starting over with a new LLC. Do I use LLC name like Leads or Us, and then DBAs for the niches? So for me, M. Morris, I think that building niche-based sites for these leads is not real worthwhile. So right, for your marketing site, for example, we're building everything that we have right now on top of web1leads.com, and we will only have Web1 leads. So we won't have Web1 leads restoration, Web1 leads fencing, Web1 leads, or different sub-brands for the niches. I personally just don't think it's worth it. The only way that I would really consider doing that, M, is if you worked a lot of very different niches. Like, let's say, for example, that you only did restoration in like the blue collar type of stuff, but then you did like podiatrists, and then you did something in financial, right? And those were the only 3 niches that you went after. If they were severely different, that would be the only way that I would brand differently, if that makes sense. Hope that helps. Dennis Champion says, will we be adding more done-for-you sites? We are, for sure. So inside, if you're in All Access inside of Slack, we asked everybody for opinions on what niches that they wanted to see in terms of the done-for-you sites, and we got a whole list of them, and we have begun building them out. So definitely, Dennis. How to access Marketplace. So you access the Marketplace, guys, inside of Launchpad to get the done-for-you sites. So I'll bring it up on my screen 1 second here. So just logging in. All right. So inside of Launchpad, when you log in the bottom left part of the menu, you'll see Marketplace. Just click that. You'll see the available done-for-you sites. Those are the ones that you can buy, and then under purchased are the ones that you've purchased. Every month that you guys are a member of Launchpad, you get a credit for free, right? And then if you want to buy more, you can just say get more credits, and you can buy as many as you'd want. But these are all, this is how you access the Marketplace. Hope that helps. Let's see. Gregory Haynes says, do you have a source that can build our business site for us at a reasonable price? Gregory, I don't have one that'll build your business site for you. What we're going to be doing next, and what you guys will see the next like done-for-you service that we release, is going to be getting up your marketing sites. So you give us the niche, and then we go customize it for you and build it out for your locale. Can I see an example of what an ideal local lead gen site should look at? Yeah, any of the sites inside of the Marketplace use our local business theme that So they use our local business theme that we built out, Jimmy, and this theme addresses all of our conversion concerns and where we want things to be. So I'll just put this in the chat and you guys can see that as an example. You're welcome, Jimmy. All right, guys, so I have about another 10 minutes here. I'm kind of running out of questions. If you have them, I want to be able to help you guys out, get past any barriers that you guys have. But look, at the end of the day, all of you guys know what you need to do. Go kick up the sales side, right? Push, push, push. Is the site in Launchpad? Eric, I'm not sure what you mean, buddy. Timothy, I'm not oh, yes. So guys, to log into Launchpad, you go to app.wplaunchpad.io. I'll put that in the chat for you. Luke Baston, thanks, Joe. Today was the kick in the ass required to get it done. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Thanks for being on, Nadine. Brenda says, what do you put on the sites for video testimonials, awards, reviews, etc.? So if we're working with a customer, if we're working with one lead gen customer, let's say, Brenda, then we put on their reviews, awards, etc. If we're working with multiples and the site has been up and has been established for a while, we will get reviews ourselves for our lead gen business. How do we do that? We reach out to the people that we have serviced. How do we do that? We look at the phone call log. Okay, we reach out to them via SMS, and we send them to one of the reputation platforms. You guys all know who those are, Reputation Loop and David Sprague's solution as well. Either one will work fine. We send them the link to leave us a review. Hope that helps. Is there a marketing site in Launchpad? There isn't, Eric. Timothy McAllen says, I have 2 deals outside of blue collar, don't know how to come up with a price. Timothy, whether it's inside of blue collar or not, if you just go through the training, I think you should have enough to come up with a price. But, I mean, you're still kind of guessing, right? What you're going to have to figure out is what the market will bear, right? So work through those questions with your actual consults. Figure out what the average customer value is to them. Okay, suggest the plan and see what they think about pricing, right? Hope that helps, man. Irfan says there's example third-party stuff that claim to rank sites. Irfan, follow the execution maps, man. That's why they're there. M. Morris, buddy, just go through the execution maps. You can answer that question yourself. Do you ever tunnel leads through multiple phone numbers to hide your marketing assets, or is that not really a concern? I don't care, Joshua, at all. Paul has a really good question. He says, hey, Joe, any stats on how to predict how many leads, calls we can expect per month from a specific niche and city? No, there really is no way, right? I mean, I would love to be able to tell you guys like this magic formula. You take the search volume times this conversion rate percentage, and you're magically going to know what you can do. It's not possible, right? Google search volume is what you would use to try to get some data, right? Like search volume is where you'd start hypothetically. The problem is, as all of you guys should know, Google's search volume predictions, I would call them, they're not really real data. They're bullshit. I mean, it's horrible. Okay, I'll give you an even better example. One of my sites that gets most of its calls through Google Maps, through Google My Business. In My Business says in the last 30 days that they've sent 0 phone calls through Google My Business. Yet when I look at my tracking number for my Google My Business, I see that in the last week, not month, we've gotten like 45 calls. Right? So there is no real way to make a good estimate. Okay? That's why we approach things the way that we do. We go after high-ticket niches that convert quickly and that aren't shopping niches. We go after cities with over 100,000 people in population. And we sell lead packages that require us to not give them that many leads so that we know that we can hit those goals. Does that make sense, Paul? That's why we shape everything the way that we do. Take as much risk as possible out of the situation. Paul says, yes, thanks. You got it, brother. All right, guys, one last call for alcohol. I mean, comments, questions? Let me know in the chat again. I'm trying to get off by 3:15. I got another 3 or 4 minutes, guys. No thoughts, unfortunately, Jesse. You'd have to give me some more details. I'd have to do some reviewing then, etc. No quick thoughts. You're welcome, brother. All right, guys, real quick. In the chat, give me a 2. Give me a 2 one more time if you guys are going to seal a deal in the next 48 hours. Right? By Wednesday at 3:12 p.m., you are going to seal a deal. Give me a 2. 2, 2, 2. I don't want to see, hopefully, Joshua Ferris. Mike says, thanks for today's call. You got it, brother. I'm super excited. You guys are kicking ass and taking names, all right? So many of you guys are doing so well. You guys are doing well in terms of sales. We have a lot of people that were behind, like severely behind, that are now caught up, that are getting a bunch of consults done. You guys are on the cusp of actually making some sales happen. And now we have some people that have been that had abandoned the program before. We got their attention, got them to come back into the program, and they're now getting onboarded and getting caught up, so to speak. So give me a 2 again if you guys are going to make a sale in the next 48 hours. 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, guys. If you guys need us, you guys know where to find us. web1support.com. You can always call us 561-841-1832. Or if you're in all access, we're obviously in the Slack group all the time. Have an awesome week, everybody. Get out there, kick ass, take names, and I will see you guys on next week's call. See ya.